from the heart of America in Chicago, Illinois. It's time for Roker Radio with Al Roker Jr. And now, Al Roker Jr.
Roker Radio, Al Roker Jr. Welcome to another edition of Roker Radio. I'm here with my boy Dano, as always. How you doing, my friend?
Good.
Are you okay? How's that cigar? A little harsh?
Cigar's good. Alex Bradley, man. Classic blend.
What is this?
We got some big
No,
old
what do I have
fatties.
here? Some American. I know, we got some fucking.
We're American.
Let's see if we can finish the show before the cigar is
Man,
done.
these
And probably
are huge.
This is why I love Vegas. Let me tell you about Vegas. We're not in Vegas right now, but
Tell me about Vegas.
I'm just like
Been there.
speaking of Vegas. Here's why Vegas is amazing.
Your sanctuary.
What do men love? Men love pussy, right? Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas.
Men love cigars.
Vegas.
Vegas. Men love drinking.
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Men love eating.
Double Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And men love gambling.
Very much so Vegas.
Now, that brings me to my first topic.
This has been like our go-to topic for like years.
Yeah, like behind the scenes,
behind
right?
the scenes, yeah.
You guys have been like, dude, we need to be talking about gambling. So Showtime just had a 4-part documentary on gambling called Action. And I was talking to Abe about this. I'm like, it's almost like your favorite porn star, you find out she has herpes, but you're like, I'll still fuck her. Because the whole documentary is like an hour's worth of like why you should not sports gamble. And then the minute it's over, you're on your fucking phone, like trying to find some shit to bet on.
You know what's fucking great is we were watching it as
I saw
was
you were on your fucking phone
checking
trying to
my
check your fucking
scores.
shit. Yes, you were.
And like by the start of this podcast, I had just won another $250.
Good for you. Good for you.
On like $15, $20 bets. While those fucking maniacs, I just saw like
We're
the
betting
first episode.
thousands.
You saw all the episodes.
I
right?
saw all the episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's only 4?
Action on Showtime, yes. Only
All
4
right.
episodes, yeah.
I watched the first one with you.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up doing more as the legalization of sports gambling
Yeah, they should continue
spreads
the process.
across the United States.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a fan. The first episode was really good. It did not make me feel like a degenerate.
Hit that mic. Put that cord right in there.
Can you hear?
I know it's
how
still
about now?
fucking. No, you're good now.
I could hear myself, so you got to let me know if you can hear me.
You're
'cause
good.
I'm hearing it. So I saw it. I get it. I see where the degenerative shit goes because I've went down that road a few times. But these fucking guys are dropping like 10 stacks a game. I like to do $5 parlays and different stuff like that. These guys were doing $3,300 minimum on games and going from like casino hopping.
Oh, they were casino hopping doing $100,000 a day.
Yeah. For
or
a
more.
few games.
For a few games. You got stacks.
That one fucking bastard was doing
the fat guy that has the same shirt that I have.
He's got your favorite shirt.
Krakenhauer or whatever the fuck his name is.
Krakenbauer.
Yes.
Yeah. The dude to drop $1 million a day. And
that would be nice.
He looks like
I'm
he's
looking.
been doing
I'm looking.
good.
I'm going through. Like I'm going to the boat tomorrow, and I'm looking through couch cushions.
Why are you going to the boat tomorrow?
Because I'm taking my wife to Morris Day in the Time with Sheila E.
Sheila, I can't even shit talk that. That's cool.
And she's going to have sex with me after, which is awesome.
At the casino?
Maybe at the casino. Maybe on the car.
At the
maybe
buffet?
at the buffet.
Like right on
that
the
would be
fucking,
that would be awesome, right?
Right on the like fucking Asian cuisine.
That's
like,
right.
Drop an egg roll in her ass.
You know how they have the naked ladies with you eat sushi off of them and shit? You ever see that?
Do they have any of those here in the city?
Not in Hammond, Indiana. They don't. Now, if we went to Vegas and we high rolled,
no, that'd be great.
We would do that.
The closest thing I ever saw like to that was when me and you were in Vegas at the Hugh Hefner suite at the Palms for the porn convention, and they just had a bunch of naked chicks on like that spinner couch.
Do you want to tell that story real quick? Well, I'll set it up. This is
one of the greatest days of my life.
I appreciate that. I hope that
You fucked up my you fucked up my like experiences in Vegas, because literally I went to Vegas like once, like many moons ago, and then the first time I went with you was like, holy shit, this is cool, and then that was like I think the second time I went with you.
So.
No, this was actually the first time I went to Vegas with you.
So I would go down for the porno convention every year.
Yeah, and I always heard about it.
And I had all these different porno contacts, ton of porno contacts. So, and we'll get back to gambling in just a second because that's where we're going. But this could be more interesting though.
Gambled with our lives that night.
Long story short, we are at the Jenna Jameson. This is when Jenna Jameson and Tito Ortiz were dating.
Yeah.
We're at the Jenna Jameson Tito Ortiz porno convention party at the Playboy Girls Next Door suite.
The Hugh Hefner suite. He lived there.
In the Palms.
Yeah. Where that fucking pool comes out into the sky.
I went on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get Thursday off. You came in late Thursday.
Yeah. I got off work
and went straight to the airport and met me.
I fucking had my bag packed. I went home. I changed into like more comfier clothes. My brother drove me to the fucking airport. And so, like, just to catch up to where you were at this point in life. So I get off of work, working at like a 10-hour day. I fucking go straight to Midway to Southwest Airlines. I hop on the flight. You had booked me a room at the Flamingo. Check into the Flamingo.
That had all the neon and shit.
It had all the neon.
Dude,
it had a fucking mirror above the bed.
And it had a TV in the bathroom.
Shower
and shit
mirror.
In the shower.
So
yeah,
I'm showering quickly.
Yeah.
So between me getting off of work at like 6 o'clock, it took the flight, which is like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and like 20 minutes to check in, 20 minutes to shower and meet you. So in the span of that fucking 4.5, 5 hours of getting off of work, I was in Vegas, dressed to the tens, and Ubered it or cabbed it to the fucking Palms.
Yeah, there was no Uber at that point. Yeah, because I'm like, don't shower. Fuck that bullshit.
I had to.
Drop your fucking bags and get the fuck over here. Get the fuck over here. And we went there, and we're partying with Jenna Jameson. And this is when Jenna Jameson was Jenna Jameson.
Stunning.
And this is when Tito Ortiz was Tito Ortiz. And this is when Playboy was Playboy. And the Girls Next Door was still on the air, so it was like... And they were filming pornos in the fucking rooms.
Dude, there was
and shit.
like
It was
200 people waiting in line trying to get
amazing.
Trying to get in. And then I fucking walked up to the elevators and like you told me to give my name and your name, and these motherfuckers like treated me like royalty. It was like as if I was Hugh Hefner. And I go up this private elevator, goes up to the suite, and I'm like awestruck. I'm like, there's celebrities there's all these hot ass women, naked women walking around serving drinks, and I was like, do I find Roker? Do I just fucking start some shit here?
Dude, it was amazing.
And I found you like within 2 minutes.
Well, I'm not hard to find.
No, you were outside in that like by the pool area. A bunch of chicks were swimming.
There's a pool. It's kind of like, you know how we talked about in the last show about the Willis Tower, where you can go out on the ledge and take a picture.
This is the original ledge.
At the Playboy Girls Next Door suite, you go out and there's a pool.
Yeah. That like just is in the sky.
Yes.
It's amazing. And that's where I found you. And it's ironic because
it's
knew...
a 2-floor suite with an elevator.
We'll get to that point later. No, and that's where I found your ass because I was like, where would Roke be? And I was like, I smelled pussy outside. And then
Roker's probably near there.
You were next to the fucking open bar that had nothing but Patron and Belvedere and like all like amazing top shelf liquor that was a free for all.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, I had... That's why when I go to Vegas now, I don't go to clubs. I don't do any of that shit because when I used to go for the porno convention and when porno was porno before you could just watch it on your phone and you actually had to buy porno and it was a fucking multi-billion-dollar business.
Like VHS tape.
These were the fucking parties to go to.
Yeah.
I've been to parties with I was at penthouse parties with fucking Tiger Woods and fucking Alex Rodriguez. And
Wait,
shit.
Tiger Woods was at these parties?
Yes, and I don't even fucking remember it, dude. They're like,
now we know what he was doing.
They're like, Tiger Woods was there, and so like, oh, really?
Getting a hole-in-one left and right,
dude. That was an amazing.
But remember the elevator story? How we start scavenging around because when I get drunk, I like to grab collectibles and shit.
This is why I love drunk Roker stories.
Yeah, we
because
have a lot
I'm
of
hearing them for the first time. Because I don't fucking remember them for shit.
We'll check this shit out. So okay, so if when we fucking post this and whatnot, like. I have pictures from that night that I found on my laptop that I took fucking pictures.
You have to send them to me.
It was like the first iPhone I had.
Okay, because I had like one of those little
you had that flip shit thing.
Sprint flip phone and shit.
Yeah.
So I had really low, just like the little tiny shit that you could take. So I don't have any really good pictures.
I got good pictures, and it will solidify everything that we basically are talking about. But no, so at one point towards the end of the night, we're fucking annihilated. This is like 20 drinks in.
We were
like
out of
just
our
annihilated.
fucking mind. Well, because you know me, once it's the last call, it's yes. Can I have 7 Jamesons?
But their last call was like, "Do you want this fucking bottle to go?" I think we grabbed a bottle of Patron and we just started pouring it. Like down each other's throats, and it was just amazing. So at one point, we're like,
push that cord in there.
Hold on, can you hear me? Hello.
There you go.
Check.
Yep.
You got me.
Yep.
All right. So
I wouldn't want anybody to miss this story.
So we found the elevator, and we opened the door, and we're like, holy fuck, will it work? So we closed the door, we pressed the button up, and it worked. It started going, and I was like, if I get fucking stuck with you in this elevator as there's nothing but naked women around, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So we go up the elevator, and we're in like Hugh Hefner's office suite, and like I wanted to grab napkins. It had like all his like fucking memo pads. And
I can tell you a quick story about that. Go ahead.
No, but I'll finish this up quick. So long story short, we're up in his like bedroom suite area, and all of a sudden the door is locked to the bathroom. But we heard noises from there. So I was like, there's some shit going on in there. Let's walk in there. So like I fucking like knocked. And like somebody just grabbed the handle and opened it, and they literally just finished filming a porn scene in there.
That's awesome.
Because some chick was putting on a robe, she was fully naked. Some dude's dick was out. You looked, I didn't.
During the porno awards, during the AVN convention, the Adult Video News Award convention, the porno awards. They film pornos in hotels and shit. They are filming pornos all the fucking time. So that's what you stumbled into.
Bro, we walked into like 4 naked chicks, 2 dudes naked, a bunch of videographers. So long story short, we just fucking like happened to miss it. But there was still a lot of nudity. And I was just hammered, and I was like, "You guys need any extras?" And the guy looked at us like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was just like, well, what are y'all doing here? They're like, oh, we just got done. So I was like, son of a bitch. But like, it was just straight up debauchery fest. And that's where like I, for the first time, didn't have sushi off some chick's fucking boobs.
Don't knock the ash off.
I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't go on
that's
your
all right.
carpeting.
I have a vacuum.
Not every day does fucking Chicago PD fucking.
Sorry about that.
Pay for your apartment.
By the way, because they air a lot of Chicago PD episodes on Ion TV and on USA. If you ever find the episode that says like Malice, Affliction, or something,
dick in ear,
it's from 2017. My house is in that episode
for
like
crack done.
17 seconds. It's like bitches and hoes. It's
bitches
hilarious. I'll show it to you before you leave. It's hilarious. So that night, so we partied with Tito and Jenna and all those porn stars.
Yeah.
And then the weekend ended with us hanging with Mary Carey and Ron Jeremy fucking weekend. I mean, it was a crazy fucking weekend.
Yeah.
I can't hang like that anymore, but
dude, fucking
that was a lot of fun.
Ron was jamming his finger like Mary Carey's ass.
I don't know what you're talking
all
about.
All kinds of just weird shit.
Allegedly?
That's like when I met Mary Carey, and then like we started hitting it off, and we like hung out. Like, dude, everybody was.
I'll
chill
text
as
Mary
hell.
from now and then. I'm like, hey, it's Roker. How you doing? Blah blah blah. Just want to say hi. Was thinking
Well,
about
she's
you.
cool as hell. I mean, she's obviously she had her battles and whatnot, but she was always
she's
cool
a
with
sweetheart.
us.
She's a sweetheart. And Ron Jeremy is a sweetheart. Ron Jeremy doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's Jewish. His parents are like 95 years old. It's and the last time I saw Ronnie was at Dennis Hoff's memorial.
Oh,
but it's weird the company that I've been able to be with.
You know what's funny is that
over the years,
away from the memorial that you saw Ron at, but like the fucking friends you're talking about is like basically what people like pay $50-$60 a VHS tape for.
Oh,
they're all like your friends. So when we go to these parties, they're all like hugging you, like, "Hey, Rogue, haven't seen you so long.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like standing there, like,
I don't know what you're
at
talking
least
about.
you introduce me. You're like, "Hey, this is my boy Dano." Like you could easily just be like, "Dano, get the fuck away from here. These bitches like love me." But dude, they like treat you like a king, and they treat me like a king because fucking you're always like you're my fucking brother, and it's like I don't know, man. They get a bad rap, but for what it's worth, I mean,
talking about porn stars.
Yeah,
or?
but just that whole scene, like everybody was always cool when we were hanging out with them. We're not asking for autographs. We weren't taking any fucking creepy pictures. We weren't creepy. So it's one of those things. We weren't those like awkward
people would
super
find
fans.
that would be hard to believe with me, but I've always.
We were probably asking them for their panties to go.
Look,
it's like between you and Wendy's chili late at night and like white women's panties.
Wow,
I just can't get you away.
Do you have any idea how many porn chicks I could have fucked over the years? And I never did.
One.
And I never. Hey, one.
What was the one that got away? What was one that you wanted to, but you knew that you were so happily married? I think I know which one you're. Are you gonna?
Wow, that's a weird way to put it, but I definitely could have fucked Kim Chambers.
Okay, I think I remember.
I
that.
absolutely
I remember that.
I could have fucked Kim Chambers 100 times.
Well, who's the fuck? You interviewed her the most recent time at Rosemont, the Asian one. She was married to the Biohazard dude.
Tara Patrick.
Yeah, Tara Patrick still looks phenomenal.
She still looks phenomenal.
And she was so fucking cool.
Okay,
with you.
so here's the thing with Tara Patrick. So I had a amazing relationship with Playboy TV.
Yeah, you did.
People going Playboy TV. Playboy
Diamond
TV
nights with them.
Playboy TV. And so Playboy TV, I would go to Hedonism twice a year. Hedonism is this place in Jamaica where it's a
where you want to take my girlfriend.
It's a nudist. I'm just saying.
They have really good beer there.
They have great beer and great jerk chicken. But it's kind of like a swingers place. It's like a nudist thing. There's like a nude side and a prude side. I would go there twice a year and be a celebrity judge for whatever Playboy TV contest was going on at the time. So they would have, at the time, it was Night Calls was their huge show.
Yeah.
With Julie and Tiffany, and Night Calls 411, which was Tara Patrick and, who else was part of that show? Crystal Knight and Flower. And I would go there. I know, but I would go there twice a year for about 6 or 7 years with them. And Tara Patrick is diabetic, as I am. So we bonded.
From all the loads.
We bonded. Same with Bret Michaels from Poison. He's diabetic. I know this is really hot. This is heck. It's like if you've been jerking off to this episode,
walk into a bar,
right? But we bonded, and so we ran into Tara Patrick at Exotica or Erotica or whatever the fuck it's called in Rosemont. Yeah, you can look it up on alrokerjr.com. But she's so fucking and yes, she was married to Evan Seinfeld from Biohazard, who was on Oz.
They gone.
And they gone. But and she's like, I remember. She goes, oh, I remember you. I know you. Blah blah. But she's so sweet. And she was the hottest thing in porn at the time. That was a good time. That was fun. And I would like to thank Claire right now. Hello, Claire. I love you, baby. My wife. I don't know if you knew I was having that much of a good a time, but just so you know, I never fucked any of them. I was always very respectful and very nice, and I think that's why they were friends with me and know me to this day, because I was never trying to get into their pants. I was always respectful. I tried to be respectful.
Remember when you lost your watch in that chick's ass?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking? What?
What?
It was a small watch. It wasn't like a Rolex or anything.
And like fucking quarter of your fist.
But that was a great, and that's why people love Vegas, and Vegas was.
That's why people love Vegas, because they come back with hopefully no diseases.
Dude, okay,
so lose a watch
the party that
and all their
Tiger
buddies.
Woods was at and all that shit. That was the Penthouse party, and that was still when Penthouse magazine was something.
Those are some crazy parties. I always heard that.
And
shit
it was
from you.
all bottle service, and it was like, now this is when like Stoli was like the great vodka, and we had Grey Goose at our fucking table, and that was amazing. And another Penthouse party that I went to was in Miami when the Bears were in the Super Bowl in 2006.
Is that when you like ran late back home because you got stuck at the
I did
airport
get, I went and had to I left the party, went to sleep in my car to go to the airport, overslept, and this is like, and missed checking my bags by like 4 minutes and shit, so they wouldn't let me on the plane. But that was a Penthouse party where I was with the Bishop Don Magic Juan and Snoop.
Yeah.
And he's like, Al, come on over. And I'm fucking hanging with the Bishop. I'm hanging with Snoop for fucking 5 hours.
I would fucking pay like a
at
grand
a Penthouse party
to be a part
at
of
the
that
Super
scene.
Bowl on the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
Don Magic Wad and Snoop Dogg and porn stars.
Amazing.
That would be
Fantastic.
cool.
Absolutely a lot of fun.
Good times.
All
right,
good
now
times,
what
good
was
times.
the topic?
We were talking about gambling.
Gambling.
We're talking about this is why people love Vegas, because there's all these things going on in gambling. So we were watching Action on Showtime, which is a documentary that's all about gambling and how the spread of legalized gambling is coming across the United States. There's a bill in Illinois. There are a couple of bills in Illinois. One is to legalize marijuana recreationally.
Yeah.
Well, they've already pretty much decriminalized it in
Decriminalized, but
in
not
Illinois.
recreational. Yeah, medicinal.
Medicinal. But Bruce Rauner was always, if you go and you Google it, I mean, you have to have like cancer and AIDS and PTSD and
I think they're getting pretty
kind of hardcore shit. But there was also, but for like diabetes and shit like that, Bruce Rauner was not approving that shit. The thing is that now that probably Pritzker will approve a whole bunch of different things, a whole bunch of different medical conditions for medical marijuana in Illinois, and may even legalize it recreationally. It's been legalized
it's just a matter of time, man.
It's been legalized in Michigan, it was just not a long drive. Yeah. We've made that drive.
But see where the funny issue is that Indiana is very stingent on that rule, so you're having to drive through that depending on which way I guess you're going.
Yeah, but I've been driving to Indiana for fireworks for fucking 20 years, so it's the same thing.
True. Spend the night in Michigan and come back in the morning.
Right, you go to Blue Chip or something, right?
True.
So, but they also could be legalizing sports gambling in Illinois.
That'd be interesting.
So,
I'm surprised that Michigan hasn't jumped on that. Not to cut you off, think about it. Would you drive to Michigan to fucking Four Winds Casino, or like you said, to Blue Chip, which actually Blue Chip's in Indiana? It's in Michigan
But it's
City,
close
Indiana.
to like New Buffalo or something, right?
No, they're definitely competitors. So like, I'm surprised that those casinos haven't, or those states haven't tried to legalize gambling. So fucking like people from Chicago.
Well,
go there and
that's
just,
why
like,
they want to.
"I'll
That's why they want to
legalize."
do it here because all
No,
the
they're gonna
people
do
are
it here, yeah.
because all the politicians. I ran into the alderwoman, the woman who was running for alderman in my ward. Alderwoman, whatever. And this was Tony Preckwinkle's ward for years, who just lost for mayor to Lori Lightfoot. And I talked to her and I said, well, if they're going to put a casino in Chicago, the best place to put it is where Michael Reese Hospital was, which is just off of it's kind of like
Off Lakeshore.
31st and Lakeshore Drive.
It's a huge hub. Then.
Because it's going to be right by McCormick Place, which is where the convention center is.
Oh yeah.
And it's close to downtown.
Hotels,
and she
everything.
looked at me like I was a fucking unicorn. Like I had
You're
a fucking.
degenerate.
She looked at me like fuck, And she, oh no, black people don't want fucking. Dude, black people are already going to Indiana to fucking gamble. They're fucking playing the lotto. Don't be naive to the fact that like if you were to put a casino on the South Side, that it's going to harm the black community so much. You know what I'm saying?
Create jobs.
It'll create a lot of jobs.
Create jobs. It'll make you not travel as far. It'll keep the money here more inner city.
It keeps the money
taxes.
here.
Sorry,
You would
it'll
actually
keep the
have the
taxes
money.
here.
As a matter of fact, not only would it keep the money here, it would be putting the money in this neighborhood. You'd
Almost
make some
definitely.
type of a deal where the
Public
money
schools
goes
could
on
get
the
some.
South Side and the money goes on the West Side.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see a casino come to Chicago and come to where Michael Reese Hospital was on the South Side. And even more so if sports gambling ends up being legalized. Boy, there's a lot, what they talk about on the documentary. $400 to $500 billion a year.
That's what they're guesstimating as like
in America.
as like a realistic figure, but they're saying that it could be even more than that.
All right, let me ask you a question. Just personally,
Yeah.
how much money do you think you gambled on the Super Bowl and Final Four? I'm going to say $500 at least.
You're talking about like the whole NCAA tournament, or just like the Final Four, like the final.
The whole
games?
NCAA tournament and the Super Bowl.
500? You fucking crazy? It's more like $1,000.
Okay.
Like 1,500.
Okay. So just for someone, even if it were $100 for somebody who doesn't do it, but they just can.
It depends
Think of
on
all
also
that
on like
fucking
if
money.
I'm going on a run or something.
My wife comes home and goes, "Oh, they're having squares at the office."
So that's
right?
what I was like picturing.
She doesn't know anything about anybody.
Because it's like $20,
But she wants to be a part of it.
$200 squares. Then you're some of those fantasy tournaments. Then you're doing some of those like fucking what's it called? You pick the winners and shit like that. Those like the tourney like
yeah,
things.
right. Like
And then you're at the
talking
bar
about
and you're doing
right. You're talking
Yeah.
about the fucking
the
yes,
schedule thing.
yes, whatever it's called. Fuck it.
Tournament pick'ems.
But
yeah, no, it adds up.
and here's what I'm saying. Governments love to, it's called a sin tax. They love to tax your alcohol. They love to tax your tobacco use. They love to tax your gambling.
Booze,
Okay.
everything.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you have an opportunity to tax marijuana, you have an opportunity to tax sports betting, that means they don't have to keep raising my property taxes every fucking year so that I have to sell my house because I can't afford to pay $17,000, $18,000 a year in property taxes because my shit is going up every year. Let the fucking gamblers pay for that fucking shit. Let the weed smokers pay for that shit. I'll be part of it. I don't give a fuck, but I would rather it I'd rather you take the money out that way than for me being here minding my own business, not doing anything from year to year, and you keep taking a bigger chunk out of my fucking paycheck every fucking goddamn year.
But I think it also brings back a stronger economy. You're creating jobs. You're taxing something you damn well know people are fucking buying and spending money on anyway. Listen, there's so much offshore betting going on from the
that's
Midwest,
the thing.
or people going
they
to
try
Vegas
and pretend.
for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, so the politician's mentality is like, this doesn't happen under our watch. Like, this is illegal. It's not happening. People fucking go out to Vegas specifically to have a dude's weekend and blow a shitload of money on gambling. There would be a lot more people having like dudes' nights out, going to Horseshoe Number 2 in Chicago on 31st Street just to blow off some steam, have some drinks.
Why not? Why not keep it in-house?
But then, yeah, you're getting
Keep
taxed.
it in-house.
But, bro, even like weed, like, I don't get it, man. It's one of those things. Colorado has proven on how much their schools have succeeded, how, like, they're growing exponentially because of that whole trade of allowing it.
Oh, I just did a story the other day because I do a nationally syndicated classic rock show that it's like in Poughkeepsie. You can't hear it. Don't worry about it. But
Poughkeepsie.
I talked about, because I just did a whole 420 show a little while ago, and legal cannabis houses in Colorado, Denver, they outnumber Starbucks 3-1.
No way.
They outnumber Starbucks 3-1.
I'm not surprised.
Guess what? You're making more money from weed than you are from fucking caffeine.
Where the fuck was I? Calgary?
Put that.
Is it? Can you hear it?
There you go.
No.
Yep.
So I went into Canada last like a year ago.
Last time I went to Canada wasn't that fruitful for me. But
That's
all
another
right.
story.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly. That's funny. No, but I was in Canada, in Calgary. Me and my girlfriend went in to do some hiking and go into like Jasper and do some national park stuff. But we just got into Calgary, and literally, dude, every fucking like 4 or 5 blocks, there was this superstore that said the grand opening coming soon. Like literally, we showed up to Calgary the weekend before they officially were starting recreational marijuana being legal. So I talked to a couple liquor store owners that, they were selling CBD, but, I was just getting some booze and just kind of getting some info. But they said that they were worried because, how's it going to change the economy or the neighborhoods, or all the like hillbillies going to start showing up.
Sure.
But a lot of people were excited because they're like, shit, it's going to bring a ton of money into it. And it was just everywhere. Like there was so much licenses or whatever granted, where these motherfuckers were building out like Aldi size stores.
Well, here's the thing. You can't say to me, because alcohol is legal. Alcohol is the fucking root of all evil.
Oh, yeah.
We're drinking right now as we are recording this. We're smoking cigars. We're having a great fucking time.
Have a beer.
How many people
whiskey,
are killed
wine.
from drunk drivers every year? How many fucking bank accounts are empty because people are alcoholics? How many people fucking have liver damage? Dude, and this shit's been legal for 80 fucking years or 70 years since Prohibition.
Marijuana
it's
cures
absolutely,
cancer.
It's absolutely, it's complete bullshit that alcohol is legal and these other things are not.
What's funny is that
gambling
to a certain level,
and
there's
marijuana
weed
are not.
that helps kids that have cancer.
Okay,
There's
I have a friend
cannabinoids that fucking help people that have horrendous illnesses. So there are benefits. Yes, people.
I have a good friend, Jim Surin, and I hope you're listening today, Jim. How are you? But his daughter, they literally got a law changed in Illinois because she has seizures.
It helps.
And the only thing that helped her seizures
Weed.
was cannabis, but she was not allowed to take it because she was going into a grammar school with it.
Stop it. So what was she doing, like edibles or something?
He literally was part of a national campaign to get that changed so that she was able to take this to not have her seizures, and was successful, by the way.
So she has a prescription?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's legally allowed.
And she's like 10 or something.
What are they, edibles?
I'm not sure.
I'll
have them on the show and we can find out.
Oh, that'd be fucking excellent. And I'd love to have Jim, what up, Jim, share the story, because that type of stuff's very powerful. I mean, that's the type of shit that like the politicians hear, but they're not listening about.
He's a Brewers fan. That's the only problem I have with him.
Then you know what? We'll wait until after the baseball season. Jim, you could talk to us during football gambling season.
I meet him at Summerfest every year. Yeah.
Really? Okay. And then Jim's good people. Go Cubs. No, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it's a constant battle. Hopefully the shit will change sooner than later, but I think that there's a lot more benefits. I work with people, and I've known people that lived and worked in Colorado, and they profusely approve of it and said that their neighborhoods have changed for the better, and the funding for many different institutions and museums and schools and everything is growing.
Well, it's legal recreationally in Nevada. When I went to the last time I went to the Bunny Ranch,
that shit funding more like fucking alien research.
But it's weird, man. It's like you just walk into a place and you just buy weed.
But you're fun. You know what's funny is not that like you
it's
probably
really
get busted
weird,
for
man.
it before. But the last time I was in Vegas, literally like people were like in fucking wheelchairs on the ramps, like going from casino to casino, just getting high as fuck out in the middle of the street. And I just laughed, but it's like. I would assume that shit's fine there, but Nevada's one of those places where
it's always very liberal, very liberal, you know. But
the moment you see that shit in like New York or fucking, I'm trying to think, like Texas.
Well, 20 years from now,
it's going to be interesting.
10 years from now, but certainly 20 years from now, we're going to be living in a whole new world.
Bro,
we're going to be living in a world. I'm saying 10 years from now, maybe 5 years.
10 years
where it's marijuana is legal, sports gambling is legal. The thing was, it's like
robots are legal.
Well, when I was in Nevada, I went and I bought like some weed. I bought like some vape pens and shit.
I wish I could have like recorded you doing that.
But it felt dirty. It felt naughty. It felt naughty, but it was totally legal. It was totally fucking
and just,
legal.
Like, hop, skip around?
It was totally legal.
I did it.
I did not have to put that vape pen up my ass to get on the fucking plane.
I know. Usually you fit like 4 of them at least.
I do, yes. It's like it's blunt sized. Yes.
Then you're like, am I getting high because of this? Is it protruding through my anus veins?
But it's weird, isn't it? It's weird, and I think that it's going to be less weird as we go on. We will talk
Shit's
about...
going to change in like 2 years. I call it 2 years.
It's going to be sooner rather than later.
I say 2 to 5 years nationally.
We'll take a quick break right now. But when we come back, how about you chew on this for a hot second?
Ew.
There might be a serial killer in Chicago.
What?
A serial killer, and a serial killer much more prolific than John Wayne Gacy.
Are you serious?
And you haven't heard anything about it.
No, I haven't.
It's Roker Radio. Al Roker Jr., Dano, alrokerjr.com, Roker Radio on iTunes, and we're back in a minute.
Legalizing sports gambling now. Might as well legalize cocaine and crystal meth.
Are you addicted to gambling?
No. I'm addicted to making money.
Sports betting just went legal. It's huge. This isn't a Vegas thing anymore. This is a national thing.
New Jerseyans are very, very excited.
Any given weekend, I may have $1 million in volume.
You'll wager $1 million?
Of course. I'm not playing to enjoy myself. I'm playing to put food on my table and take care of my family.
I don't take the favorites. I take the long shots. Royals, Broncos, Misha Tate, $5 million run. It's never been done. I broke the books in Vegas, and that's when Vegas banned me.
The idea is to live to bet another day, not to blow your entire bankroll.
You can certainly really destroy your life pretty good with gambling.
Okay, this is a disaster.
In 2018, the American people lost $118 billion to government-sanctioned gambling.
Haters only hate on winners. There's no one like me. You have that vision and a big set of fucking balls.
If we bring it into the light, that's going to be better for everybody.
This is the most obvious thing of all time.
Sports betting, collectively, all 50 states, it's billions of dollars. From here, it just continues to get better.
Loss, win, worth it.
Do you have a question or a comment? Send us an email to alrokerjr@prodigy.net. Now, once again, here's Uncle Al.
Roker Radio, Al Roker Jr., welcome back. Here with Dano. So, there might be a serial killer in our midst.
No idea what
Does
you're
that blow you up? So listen to this. The FBI and Chicago police said they have formed a task force to investigate possible links between the deaths of more than 50 women in Chicago.
So they're saying the 50 deaths were possibly caused by one person.
By one person or tied to the same person or people.
The fuck?
Prostitutes, wayward women. I don't know if you remember stories about black women being found in like garages with their bodies decomposed and shit like that. And that happened 2 or 3 times in the last few years. And now they're going, this has happened over 50 times.
How are they just noticing
this
that
could
now?
all be connected. Well, first of all, Chicago has like the lowest homicide clearance rate in the country. It's like 18%.
Not surprised.
Which is deplorable. And not like in a Hillary Clinton deplorable way. This is fucking deplorable. If God forbid you and I were to get shot in a drive-by by some gangbangers because we're waiting at a bus stop, chances are there's a 86% chance that fucking crime's never going to... If you watch the news, and we talk about, I watch the news all the time, you don't watch the news. Watch the news. Every time there's somebody fucking killed on the street, they go, nobody's in custody, and blah, blah, blah. They don't have any leads, nobody's in custody, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Bobby from Wisconsin won $136 million. On other news, 17 people died this weekend. I don't watch the news for that reason. It's a bunch of bullshit.
So, it's one thing when it's John Wayne Gacy and he is picking up young boys in like the northern edge of the city and blah, blah, blah. But when you hear that there might be somebody who's part of killing 50 women across the city of Chicago, that scares the shit out of me.
Is it just the city? Is it the suburbs?
Yes, no, they said Chicago. Chicago Task
North
Force.
side, south side, everywhere?
FBI Task Force. Google it. FBI. I'll read it to you again. It's right here. Hold on.
I get it written down.
I do. The FBI and Chicago police say they have formed a task force to investigate possible links between the deaths of more than 50 women in Chicago. That, my friend, is serial killer.
Yeah, that's some serious shit. 50 people, damn. It just fucking blows my mind that it took 50 people for them to notice like a trend.
I mean, it's bad enough that you're riding the L, going to work, and you don't know if somebody has a gat in their pocket.
Sure.
You know, they're a gang fucking banger. I was on
a lot of shit's been going on the red lines,
dude. All the time. Yeah. I take the red line all the time.
Stabbings and all kinds of weird shit.
I take the red line all the fucking time. And Claire's like, "Don't take the red line. Don't take the." Well, that's why I've been taking a lot of Ubers and Lyft. But then again, like people getting killed in Ubers and Lyft and robbed and all that kind of fucking shit. It's like, you know, what are you going to do? Am I not going to live my fucking life?
No.
Am I going to sequester myself in the fucking? But are you next? Am I next? Or what the fuck is going on? It's what fucking kind of times are we living in?
Bro, like, truth, like, not to sound fucking weird or nothing, but I'm sure the shit's been a lot worse back in the day. Now there's media attention. Now there's social media. There's a lot more news. I'm sure this shit was happening in the 60s, 70s a lot more frequently, like, or even like back in the day,
like Al Capone day, or
yeah.
I mean, but
there's probably deaths and murders on the streets.
But you know, Al Capone type shit.
Off the shit.
You were not targeted.
Sure.
If you were in that realm, if you were dealing with those, you know, we're talking about gambling and shit. So you're fucking not paying your bookie, you might get fucking whacked.
Miss a couple fingers.
Okay, that's different. But you're 50 women in the Chicago have been fucking murdered. They think they might all be linked. There might be somebody in Chicago that just killed 50 fucking women.
Also, what was like the time frame? Did they say like, oh, this happened all in the last 3 years?
You know what? I'm not sure about the. But
it's like that Golden State fucking murder. That motherfucker was like gone for like.
But it was like 20 years, 25 years. But even if it still is that, even if it is 20 years and shit, that's fucking
but
hard.
There's a lot of cops that retire. There's a lot of like cold cases that just get unknown. I mean, I'd like to know what the span of time frame was, because now technology is a lot less or a lot more advanced. So a lot of the shit that might have been like, oh, well, this isn't a lead. Now it could be potentially looked at like at a lab, hair follicles, this and that, dead skin.
But apparently, if they're looking at it as to all these deaths being linked, then there's
some common trait.
Right.
Yeah.
There is some common denominator there.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So something like this cocksucker like left a mark on the body or did some stupid shit where he didn't bite them because they'd be able to track all that.
They were killed in the same way or found in the same way.
Well, do
you tell your girlfriend to be careful? Do you tell? I've been telling Claire for 25 years, if you have to walk at night, walk in the middle of the street.
Totally agree, yeah.
I tell her, I say, if you have to walk by yourself, walk in the middle, because I've been robbed. I was robbed when she lived in Rogers Park. I was fucking robbed at gunpoint. I would tell her, I said, walk in the middle of the street because somebody's going to be less apt to walk out in the middle of the street and rob you than they are if you're cutting through alleys.
Well, yeah, they don't want to do it out in like where the lights are on.
And I always tell her, I say, take your keys and put your keys in your fingers, so they're sticking out through your fingers. Here's the thing, and this is what another thing I would tell her, and I'm telling you this, everyone who's listening, ladies. And I know that there's a ton of ladies because they love the voice of Al Roker Jr. who are listening. Don't make yourself a target. I said if you were a car thief, and one car, and everyone goes, car alarms don't do shit. They go off in the middle of the night. Nobody pays any attention to them.
You don't even fucking pay
you're
attention
right.
at all now.
But I said if you were a car thief, and one car had an alarm on it, and one car didn't, which car would you break into?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, the one without.
So make yourself a difficult target.
Try not to even become a target. Like if you're in the lights,
but if you're in that
situation,
make sure that you're like, hey, this is me. I'm here. I've got my keys out. I'm in the middle of the street. I'm lit up. maybe you'll pass me up.
Listen, first of all, like the people that do these crimes aren't like fucking respectful human beings.
They're degenerate pieces of shit.
Pieces of shit. They're usually like fucked up in the head or something. So they don't want to make a scene because they could get their asses kicked. Somebody could potentially find them, find them in the street,
right?
Beat the living fuck out of them, and
right?
Help whoever's being threatened. So they want.
These are good cigars, by the way. What are these? What are these cigars, by the way?
Alec Bradley.
Oh,
fucking Benny's. Benny's has some good shit.
Benny's has good shit, and they have
like
good whiskey too.
The last of the bin section. Some good stuff.
Here, cheers, son, on the Maker's 46.
Maker's 46.
So what were you saying?
No, it's just one of those things. Like it's usually some fucking degenerate that doesn't want to create a scene. He's trying to
they
take
never want to
advantage of you.
You never want to create a scene. You always want to take advantage.
Oh yeah, it's awkward, man, and it's one of those things. Like, listen, I'm 6'9", 230, 240 pounds.
So you're like, I'm not going to be I'm not an easy target.
Like an easy target.
You would rather, right? Exactly.
I'm not expecting to fucking have a gun pulled on me or something, or somebody's going to try to. If somebody's going to try to do it, they're going to fucking have to be big, or they're going to have to clock me in the head in order to fucking take advantage of me. Is the mic acting up? All right, so long story short, man, like you made a point. A lot of weird shit has been happening on the trains. I see a lot of weird-ass people on the Blue Line. When I get off work, dude, anything after 7 o'clock, the fucking degenerates are out.
Well, when I get on the train, and I'm a big guy. When I get on a train, I always get in the first car.
All right.
Because I'm at least, I'm in the car where
so you're by the conductor is. Yeah.
I'm in the car where I'm the conductor. Because I've been in car number 7.
I'm usually in car number 7.
Where I see all the fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
And what the fuck am I going to do if somebody... And I've been on a million fucking L rides where people are selling umbrellas and socks and CDs and all that kind of shit. Or you have the guys who are fucking religious nuts, or they're just fucking crazy in the head.
Or they
and you just try and ignore them. But if somebody pulls a knife and wants to fucking take my wallet, what recourse do I have in car 7? At least if I'm in car 1, it makes me a little less vulnerable.
Well, you hope that
you try and make yourself
the train and somebody helps out. No, man, like to your earlier point, I always have my fucking keys in my right pocket. My hands are always on the keys. I'm not saying my keys are going to save my life. Is it not coming up?
No, I hear you. Go ahead.
But I'll fucking stab somebody in the neck if I have to. And if it's one of those things, like if somebody like brings out a flashy knife and they might not be even attacking me. If they're hitting somebody like next to me, I will fucking bear hug them and I'll have to take them down, because my train of thought is train's running, doors are closed, that motherfucker's going to get stabbed, I'm going to be next.
Have you ever been robbed in your life?
I have not. I've had a couple people that have been robbed from like after these guys.
You're saying friends or relatives or something?
Like my buddy Kevin, he was robbed after he went.
And he's a big guy too. He's 6'7", 6'6".
I mean, he went shopping with his girlfriend at the time, and fucking he was like opening his gate with a bunch of groceries in his hand, and some fucking two younger kids pulled. I think he said it was a gun. He said it looked fake, but he wasn't about to find out. Right. He gave him the fucking wallet. They ran off with his wallet, and he had to cancel his shit.
I got robbed. This is like 25. I've been robbed twice in my life. I was robbed when I was maybe 15 or 16 years old.
I remember that story.
I was, my house had a big yard. We always played in my yard. Everyone came to my house, and we played football, we played baseball, we played whatever.
Yeah, because you have a football field as a yard.
Pretty much. But, so I go, and I'm playing baseball a block down in the schoolyard.
Where was that, Kenwood?
It was, it's called Shakespeare. It's not called Shakespeare anymore, but it's a block away.
R. Kelly was there?
And R. Kelly was not there, but it was like 79 or 80. Okay. And I had a Pittsburgh Pirates cap on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you remember the old
yellow ones?
The Willie Stargell, right? Exactly. The We Are Family, right?
Yeah.
and it had stars on it and shit. And I didn't know that was like fucking Disciple type shit.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Yeah, the colors or the symbols.
So we were playing ball, and it was around my birthday. My auntie had just given me like $20 for my birthday, had $20 on me and shit. And
you were balling.
And I got robbed.
Fuck.
Came home, and my mom and dad were, I'm not sure if they were separated or divorced. They were probably divorced at the time. I come home, mom calls dad. 20 minutes later, dad pulls up. Goes, this is probably a good Father's Day story for the next show, but maybe I'll tell it again. But dad pulls up and goes, puts his hand on my shoulder, goes, are you okay, son? Yeah, I'm okay. God damn it, Betty, you know where the gun is.
Handle it.
Goes upstairs, gets the gun, hits me on let's go.
We're going to find their ass.
And we're driving around the neighborhood looking for these motherfuckers. Looking for these motherfuckers. And I see them.
No way.
I see them.
Like they're just hanging out on the corner?
They're like hanging out. I see them.
Oh, fuck.
And I don't say shit.
Well, you know what the old man would
because I know the dad would have gotten out of the fucking car.
No, man, you would have backed up and started
popped
popping
a
them off.
cap in their motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
And I didn't want my dad to go to jail.
Yeah.
So I didn't say shit.
But back in the day, your old man would have got away with that shit. There ain't no cameras
I don't know
around.
about that,
He would have got away with it.
I don't know about that.
You sure you didn't do it? You're just trying to cover up.
But then fast forward to when I got robbed when I was dating Claire and when I was in Rogers Park. We had all gone out. I was in college, maybe just out of college. We're like at the Baja Beach Club on like fucking Illinois. We're partying all night. I dropped my friend off in fucking. I dropped Claire off at home, and I dropped my friend off in Evanston, and then come back, park, shut the door. It's like half a block to Claire's house, and I'm walking, and I hear a gate close. And I hear like running.
Damn.
And I'm like 2 blocks from Sheridan Road. I'm like, this is kind of far away from them to be running for a bus. I turn around, and there's a guy with a gun in my fucking face. So I turn around. I take my wallet out, and I take the money out of my wallet. And I just gone to like the fucking ATM.
So you had some cash on you.
Yep, I had cash on me. I take the money out of my wallet. I turn around, take the money out of my wallet, put it over my shoulder to give it to him. And he goes, I need it, man. Don't turn around. Takes the money. I took the money out of my wallet so he didn't take my credit card and my fucking IDs. And I need it, man. Don't turn around.
And just ran off.
And he runs away.
Younger dude, fucking older.
I have no idea. Younger dude, right? He's probably 18 to 20 years old. Probably same age as me. Then I go to Claire's house because I'm like 8 steps from her fucking house at that point. I get to her house. Claire's got fucking candles going. She's in lingerie.
Like ready to,
her legs are spread. She's all ready to go. And I go, I got robbed. She's like, oh, baby, I'm sorry.
Hold me.
But rather than getting fucking shot, and that was around the time was like motherfuckers were just shooting people to shoot people. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll
Bro,
shoot
I
you.
was about to say 70s, man. That's why I made that
Well,
reference
it wasn't
earlier to the
70s. I'm
murder.
not that goddamn old.
So
it was probably
the Claire
like
story was in the
89,
80s.
90,
All right, so like
91
10
maybe.
years later.
Yeah, but fuck, man. It scared the shit out of me.
Still, man, it just wasn't like it is now. Like even like you said in the trains, there's fucking cameras in every train. Like there's this
but they just updated their cameras to HD. They just if you actually go online, you wouldn't be able to tell if you were you and I was I from the fucking CTA cameras that they used to have.
Are you serious?
Oh, absolutely, it was bullshit.
Fuck. Well, looks like her tax dollars are making that shit look good. But I mean, no, go ahead. I mean, you're just lighting up the cigar. So as Roke's lighting up the cigar,
yes, I am. Cigar. Go ahead.
I'd like to thank.
But you've
Alec
never
Bradley.
been robbed or even close to being robbed. Good for you.
All right, okay, so here's the thing. So I was not attempted to be robbed, but when I was younger, I lived on like the northwest side of the city, like kind of Belmont Central area. I was in grade school, and me and two other friends were just kind of like hanging out in the neighborhood. We always play like fucking softball, baseball in this like alleyway behind.
Was that over by like the Brickyard and shit?
I lived close to the Brickyard.
Boy, that's like, a shitty neighborhood, dude. Well, that's an awful neighborhood.
It was like Belmont Central, so now it would be considered.
There were a lot of shitty north side neighborhoods.
This would
by
be
the way,
considered like Belmont Cragen now. It's called. So
well, shit. Wicker Park was a shithole when I was growing
Wicker
up.
Park was a motherfucker.
It was
back
a
in the day.
shithole when I was growing up.
80s houses were like $80,000.
And then people finally figured out, oh, we can fucking clear all the
Lincoln
motherfuckers
Park
out of here.
was a shithole in the fucking 70s, 80s.
That's true. By Wrigley Field, it was a shithole. Yeah.
Fucking DePaul, like nobody wanted to go to DePaul because it was all gangs. But no, like long story short, some fucking like black car pulled up, and I remember like freaking out, like it was. Like, I think it was a gang because there was a bunch of black dudes that opened up tinted windows.
Wow.
And they pulled out two guns out of the driver's side window. The driver did. And the passenger on the left side behind the driver. They pulled out guns. My two friends froze. The moment I saw that, I booked it. Because my house, we were on the corner. So my parents' house was 1, 2, 3, the fourth house in, but it was like a gate, and then you could cut left, and they wouldn't be able to see you because the apartment would have like blocked you off from their view.
Okay.
So
how old were you at this point?
Shit, man, I was in grade school, so I must have been like, I don't know, between fucking 8 and 12.
Oh shit! You were
I was like
shorty.
We were walking around the neighborhood, like not even on our bikes or nothing.
You're not
we were
even thinking
just
about
walking
that shit.
around talking
right.
to my friends. So yeah, my two friends ended up running behind me. They might have just tried to scare us or something. They didn't try to rob us, but the motherfuckers pulled out guns on us and shit. My brother got robbed for a starter jacket. Like back in the day.
Oh fuck! Starter jackets.
The 49ers.
Right, because a starter jacket was. And
it was like a gang thing.
I don't know. Right, it's a fucking gang thing. Same thing with my Pittsburgh Pirates hat.
Yeah.
I thought the Pittsburgh Pirates cap was cool. I didn't know that was gang shit. That's that 90s shit, 80s,
when
90s.
I was a kid, you would hear something.
Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates shit was late 70s, early 80s.
The Pirates,
starter's
White
jacket
Sox,
was 90s
starter
shit.
jackets. Yep. So different color schemes and different symbols would say that you're with so and so gang.
I kind of worry about that today, actually, because I'll take the red line to Sheffield's, right? Because I can get on the south side, get off at Belmont, and walk 2 blocks and be in Sheffield. And it costs me fucking $3, right? But I have like orange shirts or like whatever. And I'm like, what is that? That whiskey a little tough for you, son?
Dude, that's 46 shit.
Yeah,
strong.
It's tasty. But I'm like, is orange like a gang color? It's like I have my Sox cap that's like red,
West
white,
Side
blue.
Locos.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, man.
That's the way the shit is today. Because you live not too far. You're on the north side, but you're not too far from the west side. That kind of like United Center West Side area,
like,
which was hard as fuck when I was growing
Well,
up.
in the summertime, man, all the fucking gang members start showing up to our neighborhoods. And
Summertime, man.
like,
And that's what's
marking
coming up
the
now,
fucking
man.
cars.
Summertime.
They start marking up the like nice new buildings and shit. Oh my god, bro! They like spray paint the fuck out of these like new brick buildups and shit. I feel bad. They literally have to get like the city like cleaning crew. There's one building in my neighborhood that literally gets like fucked like 3 times a summer. 3 times a summer that they get lit up.
So it's in a gang area.
I think there's still like 2 gangs. So what they do is one motherfucker will post up their like calligraphy.
Whatever the fuck
We'll
they're
call it
they
calligraphy.
mark their territory.
They mark their territory.
Yeah.
Then the other ones mark their symbol over it like suck my ass, like I'm here too. So it becomes a battle on this poor fucking building.
Well, let me ask you this. Because your bro lives in like Schaumburg, right? Or,
Yeah, he's out in the Northwest Burbs.
Do they have these same problems?
I don't know, man. It used to be when I went out to high school out back then, I'd hear about certain people being affiliated with certain shit, but not so much. When I went out to the burbs, it was like they thought I was a gang member because I used to wear starter jackets. So they heard people from Chicago used to wear that if they're in a gang.
Well, let me tell you something. And I had cop friends that I used to golf with, and they said that one of the biggest problems was when they tore down the projects. When they tore down Robert Taylor Homes, when they tore down Cabrini Green, so like that.
Suburbs.
Then all those gangbangers had to branch out.
Yeah.
Oak Park, Schaumburg, they all had to go where their relatives were.
Filtered west.
When they were all in the same place, it was all contained.
Yeah, Cabrini Green was a motherfucker.
It was all contained, and they went. The shit got bad when they tore all the shit down, and all those people had to spread out. That's why people are getting. That's why there's so many people getting shot on the Eisenhower. And the Dan Ryan and all that shit because they're going out on the roads there. It was all contained.
Well, it's still that battle warfare, man. It's that
I don't get it.
Well, listen, going to old school shit with our neighborhood, we used to have the Kings, the Disciples, the Folks. We had like multiple gangs in my neighborhood. So seeing that highway shit, man, fucking microphones. Seeing that highway shit happening, I think it's territory. I think it's inner like gangs trying to fuck each other up. I think something happened in the neighborhood and they just take it out on the highway. You know why? Because it's an easy escape route. You cap somebody on the road, there's not that much highway, and then you get off the fucking next exit and you cut back home.
It's so, and we need to wind this up, but
we could do like some Joe Rogan show where it's like 3 hours long.
I know. I wish I had that. I wish I could do a Joe Rogan 3 hour. Well, he's getting paid $1 million to do that shit a year.
All right, we'll get there.
That's all right. We'll get there. But you're right.
Alec Bradley and Maker's Mark and Robert Mondavi Wine.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. And
wait, we still got to talk about gambling, though.
We can talk about it next time.
All right, next time.
Would you, and I always used to say to my friends, and they're looking for some place to stay, and I'm like, come look at Hyde Park, blah, blah, blah. Don't look at the north side, look at would you, no, because I love fucking Hyde Park. But would you have a friend of yours move into the city?
Fuck yeah. I don't know, man. Listen.
Here, final question. What do you love about Chicago?
Dude, everything about Chicago is fantastic. I mean, listen, I worked out in the suburbs. I lived out in the suburbs. It's a mind fuck, man. You start getting into this, like...
What is better about Chicago than the suburbs?
Chicago makes you feel alive. I mean, it's like people move to New York. They're like, there's always something to do. Like, it's a city that never sleeps and shit like that. There's always, like, everything's open late. Chicago has a little bit of everything.
You
have beautiful weather. You have food. You have a beach. You have fucking fishing. You have a lot of shit that keeps you busy. I mean, we work hard, we play hard, we have shitty weather, but then we have good weather. We have beautiful sights and sounds. We have great music. We have a good music scene. We're the third largest
Keep
market.
going. The Chamber of Commerce might hire you and shit.
Yeah. It's like, please sell our city onto the world. No, but Roke, I mean, it's one of those things, man. I always tell people, like, I don't think I want to ever fucking retire here because I'm just like, my bones hurt in the fucking wintertime. I feel like I'm 60.
They do. It does fucking suck, right?
But it's like the summers sell you onto like dealing with the winter another year because of all the shit that you do. I mean, between us, like our weekends are always packed because it's like we're playing catch up. We got the Cubbies, we have baseball, we have football, we
There's
have basketball.
nothing better than spring and summer in Chicago.
I mean, we could be in fucking Montana or Canada hiking, and it's beautiful and natural and organic and peaceful. But it'd be like, how fucking much of this could I deal with seasonally, like for 12 months? Here we have a little bit of everything. I think we're in a market. The Midwest is lucky to have seasons. California doesn't have seasons. Fucking Florida doesn't have seasons.
Well, we're a little bit tougher because of that.
And you know what? And we learned. We learned to deal with the thick skin of maybe I get shot tomorrow. Bro, there might not be a fucking another podcast with us too because I could be shot dead tomorrow.
Well, I hope not.
But knock on wood, hopefully not. But that's life, man. Like we talked.
And I love the fact that we
had a
drive
podcast a couple weeks ago.
We could drive to Wisconsin. We could drive to.
You know what sucks?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you this, not to cut you off, but like, okay, so you know how like people are like, oh, you know, like Wisconsin's nice, Michigan's nice. You know what's fucked up? When I was in Seattle or like Oregon, within a 3-hour drive, you're in like fucking Vancouver, you're in like Canada, you're in these national parks that blow your mind. So within a 1.5 to 2 hour drive, you could get to Oregon from Seattle, to Canada from Seattle, to Idaho, where Idaho sounds like shit, but
in
there's
an hour and a half,
parks.
we're in Milwaukee.
We have Milwaukee. Yeah. We have Hammond, Indiana.
Maybe
we have like maybe
Indianapolis or
Champaign
something.
or Moline.
Right, not even.
Yeah, not even. So it's like it's a mind fuck that there's other places that I get sold on when I travel. I love traveling, and that's why I like going to like New Orleans with you and Vegas, because it's like, you know, it puts shit into perspective. So you're like, why do you love Chicago, or what is it about Chicago? I love Chicago because we're Midwestern folk. We're not fake. We fucking wear our hearts on our sleeves. We're hardworking.
Yeah.
We're tough. We deal with a lot
blue
of
collar.
shit, but then
it's
we also
blue collar,
play
but
hard.
It's exactly.
It's blue collar fucking USA, man. We're America. We work hard and we like to play hard, and then when we fucking, you know, we deal with the consequences, and hopefully nothing bad happens.
Just real quick, your family came over from Poland.
Yep.
They came to Chicago?
There was a process. So my old man came.
How did they end up in Chicago?
So long story short, my old man did some recon work. He got like a visa. He came to Chicago on a recommendation that it had a Polish population. So
and this is what year?
This is fuck, bro. This was before
70s, 60s?
I want to say it was probably mid-70s. I think it was right after my brother was born. My brother was born in 76.
Okay.
So there was some shit happening in Poland, some civil unrest. My
Solidarność.
Lech
Walesa? It was coming.
Lech Walesa was going on.
That's the only Polish card I can pull.
And you always fucking play that card.
Solidarność, Lech Walesa. That was like 79.
Casino.
Yeah, right. Is that?
But no, like my old man. Fucking microphone. Can you hear me now? All right, it works occasionally. So my old man did some recon work. He came to Chicago on a whim to see if there's work. Can he get it? He was like a body mechanic.
Lot of work. There's a lot of work for immigrants in Chicago.
Well, yeah, but he was also a body mechanic. He was great with cars. So like when he came here, motherfuckers were paying top dollar. Like people get into car accidents here, you know.
No shit.
So he's like, I can make some money. So he made a good amount of fucking money while he was here. He went back to Poland. My brother was a couple years old, and he's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. So he took care of some business with some paperwork.
But you know what? That is amazing to me. That's almost like, and I think about the risks that I want to take. And when I was younger, I took a lot of risks. As I've gotten older,
Like,
I
fuck
don't
that.
know if I want to take that many risks, but can you imagine coming from another country, coming overseas,
not knowing a fucking person,
right?
just
Not
about.
having just going. I'm just gonna roll the fucking dice.
I'm appreciative. I'm first generation,
That's
so like my
crazy.
brother was born in Poland. So check this shit out. So to show you the path that my fucking dad ended up taking my family on, and God bless my mom for trusting the process. My mom was a chemist in Poland. She had a phenomenal job, and she got fucked because none of her credits transferred to the United States. So she could not be a chemist here. She had a phenomenal job in Poland, could have probably been rich and loaded, but she was a fucking line worker.
Can you imagine how devastating that was to her?
She's never complained about it or nothing like that.
Of course she never complained because she's a mom.
But yeah, but it's also, she wanted to grow. She was kind of discombobulated with they were from like a smaller town, dead center of Poland. So it was between Krakow and Warsaw. It was huge pre World War II. It was very industrial. So after the war, it just got decimated. So it was like all the factory jobs went to shit.
Right.
So long story short,
well, that's America today, right?
So there was civil.
That's Detroit, right?
There was civil unrest in Poland. So my dad would have probably had to join the armed forces or get the fuck out of town. So at that time, certain people were able to get the fuck out of town. So my dad was able to not escape Poland, but he got papers to take my brother and my mom and him into Austria, where they hung out for 2-3 weeks before they were able to get their paperwork taken care of. And they flew to New York, and from New York they came to Chicago and then set up shop.
That's crazy.
So it was a fucking process.
So do you ever think about it could have gone 1 inch this way or 1 inch that way, and I'm not where I am
Bro,
today?
I got offered a raise and a fucking a bonus to take a job with my last agency that I was at for a job to Austin, and that was a fucking heartache where I was like, oh, my grandma wasn't doing too good health wise, and I ended up not taking the job. But that was moving 1,100 miles, maybe 2,000 miles to Austin from Chicago. So I was like, I don't think I could
about
do
what
it.
your parents
These
did.
motherfuckers did 6,000 miles, not knowing a single soul. My brother told me, he's like, man, you fucking go to Austin. I'm quitting my job. I'm going with you. I had a support system. Your ass would have been traveling every couple months to probably visit me.
Dude, I've lived in my house the entire year, and we're my entire life, and we're trying to fucking sell the house. And I'm like, I don't want to sell the fucking house.
Yeah,
but it's it's tough because it's easy to be. It's easy to.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
And you know what? It's a shitty word to say about life because you don't want to be comfortable. You don't want to fall into that plateau of everything's going good. It's like with jobs. It's like sometimes you deserve better, but sometimes you just roll with the punches because shit's going good, or you might get fucking rewarded at the end of the road. But the truth of the matter is you got to live life. You got to be fucking happy. You got to make yourself happy. Because the one thing that I fucking learned in the last 4 years, and I've grown a lot, because I've grown a lot of gray hairs, is that you deal with a lot of fucking punches for no reason, and it's not worth it, man. You need to make your soul happy, because that's why people die young or do stupid shit, unfortunately, to themselves, because mentally they just can't handle it anymore.
Well,
and
you're
can't
absolutely
get
right.
yourself to that level.
You're absolutely right, because at the end of the day, the only person you have to live with is yourself.
Bro, some of my best days on this fucking planet was when I was broke as fuck. So you know what? It's not always about the money, and it sucks to have to think about paying your next bill.
I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about your soul.
I'm saying, but my soul has been very happy when I'm broke, but with my fucking friends around me, like you covering my ass saying Dano, I got your beers, fucking don't worry about the money, let's just have a good time. God bless you, man. Between you and my bro, I don't know, man. In the past, I not to get all deep and shit, but there's times I thought stupid shit, man, and that was not positive. But just having a good friendship and relationship with people that you could share that stuff to is so fucking important in this life. And maybe it's another fucking topic for another podcast, but I think a lot of the stuff that's happened with a lot of famous musicians and our heroes where they commit fucking horrendous situations,
there's some type of emptiness there.
There's some sort of emptiness or something that they can't vocalize to people close to them. And I know that if it was you or my brother, and there's people like my buddies Kevin, Pete, Nico, where I could go to and just be like, hey, man, I'm not thinking shit straight. Like, there's some bad shit. Like, I won't be judged. I won't be fucking, like, pushed against a wall. Like, I know I could speak my mind and not be judged. And I wish that everybody has somebody in their life that could fucking share that to. Because, like, just thinking about that negative shit, like, you want somebody to be able to have as a fucking, like, a venting person. Like, sometimes you just need
have to have
speak
somebody.
your mind. Like,
You
how
have to
many
have
times
somebody
have I
there.
had a
Yeah.
heart-to-heart with you where you
we've been
fucking
there.
busted my balls? Like, you're an idiot. And
Dude, I don't
think-
want you to go through what I had to go through.
And the vice versa, bro. But I think that's a huge thing to have somebody
And
that
that's
you
what
could
your
trust.
pops would tell you.
Dude,
I don't want you to fucking go through what I had to go through.
And I never had that chance. So, like, similar to you, like, we never had our old man to be able to be like, hey, man, how the fuck did you get to this? I was 16 when my old man died. I think you were, what, 15?
15, yeah.
So, like, I just fucking started learning how to drive. Some of my last memories with my old man was him, like, letting me drive his fucking conversion van in Wisconsin, and he trusted me without sitting next to me. Like, he let me control the wheel, like, fuck it, I got your back. If we crash, we crash. But he trusted me.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
I never got to hear about his life. I can never get his story because I have my mom's story on how they met and all this shit, but we're kind of fucking scammed by that.
Like I said, there's
we don't
there's
have that.
three sides to every story.
There is
like,
three sides.
one side to and the truth, right?
And
Yeah.
we don't have that one side because I wish that, like, as an adult, I could have fucking went to have a beer with my old man, got drunk, and, like, got his side of life. But we don't have that chance. So sometimes you need your friends to kind of be your big brother or your dad. And, like, you've been a father figure, man, and I fucking appreciate everything that you've ever done in my life because you saved my ass so many fucking times.
Dude, I want you to live the life that I was never able to live, and I'm sure your pops wanted you to do that, and your mom wanted you to do that, and I thank you so much. And
hey, we're gonna keep doing with these fucking podcasts, and hopefully,
and we're gonna keep drinking.
And hey, listen, motherfuckers, if there's somebody out there that's listening to this shit, hit us up on, like, Facebook Messenger,
Twitter,
whatever the
absolutely.
fuck. No, but,
Al
like,
Roker
even
Jr.,
privately, like, talk to us.
I'll
Let
talk
us know.
to you.
Yeah,
I
call
will,
us.
I will put you through it, and I'll tell
Roke
you.
has some phenomenal advice. So people think, like, hear
I
us
do
about
appreciate that.
porn
You've
stars
always
and
said
different shit.
always said that to me. Is all of the bullshit that you always have said to me that I'm a good advice person.
You're
so I appreciate
fucking
that.
Phenomenal advice person.
Listen,
so hey,
thank you as always, Dano.
Love you, bro. We got to finish
All right.
these cigars and our whiskey. now.
We're gonna finish these cigars, the whiskey. We'll talk to you next time. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, blah blah blah. At Al Roker Jr. Please go to Roker Radio on iTunes and subscribe. And then the next time we have a Roker Radio, boom, it pops up. You can listen to it on your way to work, whatever. I appreciate it.
If you subscribe, he might send you a dick pic.
Wow. If you're a sweet little white woman, yes, I will.
Or a sweet little boy.
But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of people that have been very solid to me, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that more than you ever know. We'll talk to you next time. Dano, thank you. I love you, always. We'll finish these cigars. We'll finish these drinks. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Yay. Peace.